All right, so here we're going to talk a little bit about the three main frameworks that we see for authentication that are often used with wireless networks. Eap, Leap, and Peap. So the first one here is the extensible authentication protocol. And this one primarily gives us a use for authentication for a lot of wireless networks. We'll see specifically 5 different types of Eap adopted. Typically, we have the WPA and WPA2, and those are the standards that we usually will see for Eap. Specifically, let me just organize these a little bit differently. So the 5 types, you got those are 1 and 2. Okay, and those are the standards. And then we also will have EAP running over TLS. It could run over EAP, the PSK, and we talked a little bit about that yesterday. And then the EAP running over MD5. So that's just specifically, or just some ways that we've adopted for secure wireless communications. So what we usually will see, though, are these bottom 2 down here. We'll see Leap and Peap show up on the exam, and we'll enumerate those right now. So if we go through and just talk a little bit about some of these real quick, just taking a step back here, I think I may have mistyped this up here. This should be, instead of WAP, it should be EAP. So EAP over TLS right here, it actually will give us the tunneling through the extensive authentication protocol using a tunneled transport layer security. And what this does is it gives us one more layer of security against any of the man-in-the-middle attacks that may happen. So if we went through into a small office or maybe a home office and we wanted to start sniffing the network traffic, what we could usually see is any new Eap messages that are produced would allow hosts to join the network and use WPA or WPA2 protocols. A lot of times you see another thing that's pushed out there. I don't know if you guys have printers or other devices that are available that use WPS, Wi-Fi protected setup, but sometimes we'll see that, and it requires you to maybe press a button on one of the printers and then press a button on the access point in order for the enrollment of that particular near field or close by communication to take place. So sometimes you'll see specifically WPS or maybe near field communication go on with that. So that's just something to think about whenever you start talking about the EAP. With the lightweight extensible authentication protocol, usually we'll see this start to take over for the Eap, because Eap is less secure, and the lightweight extensible authentication protocol gives us a little bit more flexibility, and I believe it was created by Cisco, so just keep that in mind. It makes sense. Maybe Cisco, when they acquired Linksys, actually came up with this proprietary protocol.
What makes it lightweight?
So it was given the way to allow specific things to happen, and to try to fix problems with WEP that oftentimes mutual authentication happens, and with the Leap to try to thwart any types of weak protocols. Off the top of my head, I think that with Leap, and I'd have to do a little bit more reading on this, but you can go out and look at Cisco's website to find out more information, but it sends across less information like the authentication header as opposed to the entire packet to do authentication. So look that up and let me know what you find for that. All right, so that's Cisco proprietary. Usually Cisco now does not recommend it because it is susceptible and it's considered a weak EAP authentication protocol. So now a lot of times what we'll see is this PEAP down here. So Cisco, RSA, and Microsoft, three big dogs in the industry, came up with the PEAP, and it stands for the, I think it's protected, let me look it up real quick, protected, extensible, somebody just check me to make sure I got this right, authentication protocol. And that was developed by the three-headed monster that's showing up here, the Microsoft, RSA, and Cisco. And they started offering this with Windows XP. So PEAP was offered initially with XP, and now most versions of Windows as well as Ubuntu oftentimes will have the flavors of PEAP in there. It's considered more secure because it establishes this thing called an encrypted channel. All right, hold on one second. Establishes the encrypted channel between the person who is wanting to authenticate, who's the client, and the server who is authenticating. So that's usually what we see for the three main protocols on the exam for wireless. We'll see the extensible authentication protocol, which has been phased out. Leap also has been phased out, but now we see PEAP on the exam as well. Hold on one second.